Okay, so we all saw that Born Again finale, and at least by ratings, we can agree that it's peak. Which, yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it. This episode is maybe one of the best episodes of Daredevil ever. My title, I'm planning to do it, the Daredevil at its finest. I don't think it's the best episode ever. I think, like, Blindsided, The Devil You Know, and A New Napkin. I think those three episodes are quite literally masterpieces and better than this. And you can also argue something like New York's Finest, Penny and Dime, and 7 Minutes in Heaven. Now, you may be thinking, okay, so it's not the best, but also take into perspective, like, if I make a top 10 best episodes of comic book shows, all 6 of the ones I just mentioned, including this one, would make it up there. I just want to make that clear. All 6 of them would be up there. Actually, is that true? That could be true, but most of them are up there. Anyways, yeah, it is the highest rated episode of Daredevil, other than I think A New Napkin, the season 3 finale. It has a 9.6 right now at, I think 7,000 viewer ratings on IMDb, which is the second highest ever. Now, I do think it will drop. I mean, The Gloves Off, the one where Vanessa dies, that one used to be a 9.6, and now it's a 9.4. I think we'll see about the same thing. But honestly, I think a 9.6 is kind of deserved. Although, to be fair, I think Daredevil rating should just be a lot higher than IMDb. If the Invincible War is getting a 9.7, I will see Invincible. You always catching strays. Anyways, 2 minutes in, I guess we actually start talking about the finale. Okay, so what do I love about it? Because honestly, I don't have any negatives. The one negative I can think of is, sure, the legal drama, it's not very accurate to actual legal drama and law, but all shows do that. Even if someone says best legal drama or best legal show, they'll be like Better Call Saul. Yeah, Better Call Saul is inaccurate in some moments. So honestly, I don't care about its inaccuracy. One that is a bit more, but it's honestly just such a nitpick, is that some of the protest scenes can be a bit corny. Like the one where also, her name's Angela Del Toro. I have been calling her Ava Ayala this entire season. My bad. And the reason why is because that's her name in the comics. I don't know why they changed it, but I guess to make it Hector Ayala her uncle, but I don't know. Although I did find that, back to that scene, I did find it a little bit corny where she just goes up to the Cole North, I think it is, and be like, you killed my uncle. And then he's like, he was a cop killer. And then her aunt, honestly, he's real the aunt in the back being like, no, my husband would never kill a cop. I just thought it was a really awkward exchange of dialogue. And you could say Cole North's redemption arc is a bit rushed. I disagree. We got to see the seeds in the season of him. And maybe he becomes the Cole North in the comics that we know. Okay, let's talk about why this episode's peak. First off, Jessica Jones actually gets something. When she walked into the courtroom, I did think they were going to make a reference to her being a hero, but because, season 3 of Jessica Jones did happen. But honestly, I don't care. Jessica Jones had good action, she had good writing, and she was in the episode for a good amount, and she was important. That's all I care about. This is probably the most unique episode of Daredevil, the most unique finale. And how this episode is, I honestly thought that this episode was going to be just a court case. And honestly, I would have been so chill with that, because those court case scenes were so spectacular. Matt revealing he was Daredevil. Chef's kiss, especially where you just throws the thing. And then questioning Fisk and all the, and I wish we got more of an interaction with Heather and Matt, but honestly, oh my god, and Heather is so spectacular in this episode, with her being Heather, she became Muse. Now, I will say one problem, which I know a lot of people didn't have, but I did have, is that I got spoiled by the leaks. Yes, Matt goes to prison. Yes, Fisk is a old Santa dude that's homeless. Yes, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are going to return. Yes, Heather becomes Muse. Sadly, it all got leaked, so it didn't have an impact on me. But honestly, my hype level has not gone down. I'm just pumped. Honestly, Heather, let's just talk about Heather. Heather, I think, has had such an interesting character arc. I mean, she has just been on a roll with her scenes. I mean, sure, the Buck scene in like episode 6 is a little weird, but her interrogation scene with Karen in last episode was one of my favorite scenes of that episode. And she had some great scenes like in this episode, like her putting on the mask and her testifying. I thought it was all great. Which, okay, I'm honestly, this episode is so tightly written and so well done with its right. It feels like there's something a mile a minute, but it works so well. People were like, I don't see how this season's ending. I did have a worry about that, where I was kind of just like, where can we end this? But somehow they did it, and I'm not disappointed. Wow. Those court case scenes are so good. This is one of my things where people, this kind of defense for myself and others, is where people are like, when I, critique the Invincible Season 4 finale, I know no one actually has done this, but people will be like, oh, it's because you need action. No, it's not. Like, these court case scenes, I will have been perfectly fine watching this episode and say it's a spectacular season finale, because it is. Those court case scenes are immaculately written, perfectly acted, and it's just so good. These characters and one thing I love when Matt first talks to Fisk and he's like, I didn't think you'd show up, and he's like, I didn't think you'd show up either. That's my worst Fisk impression. I could make a better Fisk impression. I'm just not going to. Anyways, yeah, those courtroom scenes, especially seeing the judge change and be like accepting more Matt's side after he starts making his point. I really love how we get the Northern Star, the very first scene of this season, to be the thing that takes down Fisk. Now, I will say, one thing I would have wished happened is we got a bit more about Ben Urich. Like, BB brought it up in this season, and you could just say it's the justification for BB hate Fisk. That's true. But I would have had something about that. I mean, they did show it with Ben Urich and Daniel Blake. They did show it. I just think they should have shown more of it. This is gonna be such a scattered review because there's just so much going on in this episode, but so good in every aspect. I don't think there's a single scene that lacks. Honestly, I love the beginning with what we think is a flashback to the place where Matt and Karen first had their first date in Timbuktu. That's the worst episode of the show. I'm sorry. Anyways, I thought that was great just for it to be real that nope, it's the present day and Matt gets arrested there. Yeah. Oh my God. The governor, I really liked her role in this episode. I think the governor is a great character being built up. Now, Sheila, I think, has been an underrated character. I really like Sheila. I have been really liking Sheila. But, we get more appreciation on Sheila. Maybe next season, because she's going to be mayor. Maybe next season she'll get more appreciation. But let's put respect on Sheila's name. Which, I guess if we're still talking courthouse, actually, I'll talk about Bullseye first. Bullseye's some great action, like when he killed the AVT, I think he only killed the fake Bullseye, he didn't kill the AVTF members. I don't know. But when he came over, it was, oh my God, great action. I love Dex. Honestly, people saying Dex is the MVP of the season for him having relatively little screen time. I mean, he really only did things important in episode 4, episode 5, and I guess this episode, but he was just so good. Oh my God, Bullseye, chef's kiss of a character. He's Bullseye. I'm glad that he's getting the appreciation he's always deserved. He was a spectacular character in Daredevil season 3. I mean, some people are like, oh, the reason why Daredevil Season 3 is such a masterpiece is because of Dex. Except Daredevil Season 3, I think, was actually the least viewed season of Daredevil. So guess what? He doesn't get enough appreciation. And he just got overshadowed by Fisk. So, honestly, Bullseye was the champ of this season. When people were like, he's the MVP of the season, they weren't lying. Yeah. Oh my god, I love Dex. My goat, Dex. Anyways, let's get to what happens. So Dex, I think, is about to shoot Fisk, but then he shoots Buck. I kind of forgot. I've only seen the episode once. That will change very quickly. But truly, it was just such a spectacular scene with that. Oh my god, especially where he's like, "Where are you going, Murdoch?" Again, these are not good Fisk impressions. If you made this far into the video, or if anyone's watching this video, props on you. But also comment, rate my Fisk impression, 1 through 10. Anyways, I really like that scene. Was just so great. Is oh my god, I didn't even talk about Matt Murdock revealing himself as Daredevil. Kingpin's Fisk reaction where he's like, I know information about you that I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the impression again. I am sick. This is why I'm gonna blame you on that. I'm sick. Anyways, Fisk where he's like, I know information that can ruin your life. Then Matt basically talking back to him, even though Fisk can't hear, he's like, I do too. Woo! Peak cinema. I will say, that episode, it's so good. I love that scene. That scene, I've seen people be like, it rivals the I Beat You scene. I disagree with that. It's a immaculate scene. I think it's pretty much perfect. But it's not better than the I Beat You scene. Let's not go that far. I feel like there was a bit of recency bias with this episode. It's not the best episode of Daredevil. It's one of them. But it's most definitely not the best episode of Daredevil. Unless if we just haven't seen a new Napkin, Blindside, or The Devil You Know, then I don't know. Yeah, oh my god. And then the back half, of course, that hallway fighting with Jessica Jones, Angela Del Toro, and Matt Murdock, or the Daredevil himself. That fight scene of them taking out the AVTF members was great. And honestly, what I loved was the Fisk. Of course, with him not taking the deal and him being like, open the door. And then he opens the door. Honestly, maybe my favorite moment with Fisk, possibly this entire season, was his laugh from last episode where he's like, ha! It was great. And him just saying boo. Him punching the dude in the face and killing him, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, that Fisk versus protesting, I was like, the entire time this episode was just so, oh my god, so shocking. I was just like, what is happening? Is this happening? The scene where the protesters beat on Fisk was great, and that separated them. And then he was like, you gotta have mercy, because I know you love New York just as much as me, but we're gonna fail. We're done. We're both cooked, And then they take the deal. And so, I really like the line from Fisk where he's like, I won't shake your hand. This is not what he said, but he said something online that, it was funny, okay? But honestly, Fisk in this episode was peak. Which, here is one thing I want to talk about. How does this show keep on bringing back Fisk? Okay, I know people are like, we have Wilson Fisk fatigue. Bring us a new villain. And I think we are getting that next season with Muse. Again, hopefully. But sorry, there's something. Anyways, but I mean, I wouldn't care if Fisk played a somewhat big role next season. He's just an immaculate villain. I mean, if you told me, if someone just walked up to me on the street and was like, Wilson Fisk is the best comic villain ever, I would be like, you know what? He's not that wrong. I would personally put Thanos or maybe Heath Ledger's Joker above him, but if you said he's the best, I wouldn't disagree. He is perfect. I mean, he has the best rivalry in the MCU, maybe even in any comic book show ever with Mark. Sorry, I was thinking of Invincible real quick. Matt, I think it's just so great. And honestly, every time he comes back as a main villain, He's so unique. He's so different. First season was him becoming a crime lord. Season 3 was him being the kingpin and in charge of the FBI. Season 1 was him trying to be a good mayor. Season 2 is him being mayor kingpin. And each one has just such a unique defeat. Like, season 1 just being an all-out fight where he goes to jail at the end. The second one being a fight, but it goes with Matt's character, and he goes to jail at the end. And this one's just so very unique of how we just have a court scene, and that's how we win. Like, I love it. Honestly, there's probably more. Oh, yeah, Luke Cage showing up. That's dope. Now, I will still want to see how Jessica Jones and Luke Cage got back together, because they were not even remotely close to getting back together last time we saw them in Jessica Jones Season 3. So, I don't know, but I do want to see how they got back together. But Luke Cage being back and Bullseye being with Mr. Charles, or now Mr. Robertson? Yeah, I really want to know who this character is. Honestly, both of them are such good. I loved Mr. Charles this season. He was the GOAT. Oh man, and of course, the ending of Matt going to prison was insane with all the AVTF members, and then Fisk, all his assets frozen, just on a beach. Personally, I thought that was just... Honestly, if you can't tell, I think this is a perfect 10 out of 10 episode. I think it's the best episode Born Again has to offer. And I think, I was like, you know what, Season 2, I don't know how they're going to top it. Because based on my hype level, currently my hype level for Season 3 is about even. We're getting the Defenders, even though their show is pretty mid. We're getting Lady Muse with a character that's developed from being kind of annoying to an actual really great, interesting character. We're getting Matt in prison. Like, come on. Like, Arrow in prison, that was some of the best stuff Arrow gave us. I bet Daredevil is going to be the same. Think about Blindsided is arguably the best episode in Daredevil. And you know where Matt is in that episode? Prison. Okay. Now, I don't think I'm going to make a video on this. I will probably make an updated, top 10 or top 15 best episodes of Daredevil. But I'm just going to rank every episode of this season here. So, Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, episodes ranked right now. This could change. It probably won't. But, yeah. So, at our number 8 spot is Shoot the Moon, or episode 2. Honestly, this is a great episode. I really love it. I not love it. I think it's a really great episode with some great aspects. The ending was good, and there were some great moments in between. I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10. And somehow, honestly, remember when everyone was like, this season's so crazy, how are they going to top it? I rewatched the season, the entire season, I know, but it was kind of crazy. I just rewatched it all. I rewatched the entire season, and those first 3 episodes, I was like, oh wow, these were a lot less crazy than what I thought. Not because they weren't, honestly, some of them I thought were a bit worse on my second watch, but it's just because of how immaculate the second half is. Anyways, at number 7 is The Northern Star, or the premiere of the season. I think this is a fantastic premiere. I used to have it at 9.5, now it's a 9.3. Honestly, there's just so much good things with this episode. And honestly, I just kind of love it. And next episode is, again, somehow, The Scales and Swords, or episode 3. It's a fantastic episode. I mean, it's an amazing episode. It's somehow our 3rd worst. I don't know how we're doing this. The Jack Duquesne trial, while it just got overshadowed 1,000 times over by the trial of Karen Page, it's still really well done, and Heather is great in this episode. There's some good stuff with Kirsten McDuffie. That fight scene was so good. There's just so much great about this episode that, I don't even know how to comprehend how this is 3rd to last. Another one where I'm like, oh my god, how? Is the last episode, I think it's called The Hateful Darkness. That's actually the only one that I don't know. At number 5. Number 5, The Hateful Darkness, and that's really shocking because it's an incredible episode of television. Daniel Blake's death was just truly immaculate. Was just so well done. Especially that final scene with Matt praying where he's like, for help me God, for I'm so alone, for I have no one to lean on, for I have nobody. And then we see Buck's hesitation as he just kills Daniel. so good. I have no clue how I put that below Skeleton Sword when I first watched it. That is a 9.8 now because it's truly, truly incredible. And we're at a 9.9 with our next one, Requiem. Which honestly, I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10, but I understand if you do. It is a crazy episode. Like, it is insane with how... Okay, I think this episode is perfect and one of the best of the series. If, big if, you are only considering the last 15 minutes. Those last 15 minutes were truly something else. I think the fight between Fisk and Matt is maybe the best one they've ever had. Actually, it's not better than the I Beat You scene, but fight-wise, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Fisk in this episode is so good, honestly. Like, I can't give anything more than his immaculate. Oh my god. Those two scenes with Karen Page where she's like, talking about how she kills Wesley, how they should just kill Fisk when she is about to kill Bullseye. It's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna give it 9.9. Now we are our number 3rd, which is the grand design. Some people say it's the best. I disagree. I do have some problems. Like, even though I do like the Daniel Blake stuff, and Buck, I like it. It just does drag the episode down a bit. But, oh my god, those flashbacks with Foggy Nelson, bringing Foggy Nelson back in is perfect. Oh my god, Bullseye in this episode is so good. And Fisk, for what he shows up in, and Vanessa, so good. Vanessa's such an amazing character. I mean, I'm happy to see her go, but I'll miss her because she was an incredible character. 10 out of 10 episode is, there's 3 10 out of 10s this season. And the next one is Gloves Off for episode 4. This episode, honestly, like, I kind of forgot how good it was in the first half because I remember how immaculate the boxing match is. That boxing match was great, but when Bullseye came in and killed Vanessa, it was truly something else. I mean, like, I've never felt as shocked, and actually, that's a bit of an overstatement. I can't even speak. It was so good. Honestly, I think it was a perfect episode. Like, when everyone was like, oh my god, this may be the best episode of, one of the best episodes of Daredevil, I agree. It's probably like my number, actually, I'm going to make a list on this. But somehow got passed by this finale. This finale, the Southern Cross, truly something else. I mean, I just get a whole review on it. It's 10 out of 10. One of the best episodes of Daredevil, period. And, yeah. I will say one thing that I kind of forgot to mention. Actually, 2 more things I have to do. First one is, while, yes, the visual style of this show is, and the cinematography and stuff like that, is worse than the original Netflix show, except for when they changed the aspect ratio and that stuff. Then I think it was probably just as good. But I will say, I really like the new style they're looking for. I really like, especially at the scenes with at the restaurant. You know, I thought it was a really great looking scene. Honestly, I love how this series looks, even if it is admittedly worse than the original series. And my last thing is it better than Invincible Season 4? Okay, well, I don't really need to explain myself. If you've actually watched these reviews, it's clear that, yeah, it's much better, in my opinion. And that's saying something because I think Invincible Season 4 is an incredible season of television. Yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say other than this episode did like this season. I would say this season is a perfect 10 out of 10. Currently, I am on a Daredevil rewatch right now, but currently, it has my highest average. I'm not kidding you, it has a 9.7 average. That's a high average. Yeah, I think Daredevil Season 3 has a chance of passing it, but, you know. Hey. So, that's my review for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in all its entirety. This episode is perfect, this season is perfect, and one of the best seasons of any comic book show ever. Bye.